Hi friends, welcome to my next video session. So in this session I am going to discuss about the type defined structures. So actually in my previous classes we have discussed that we use the keyword type def to redefine the data types. Okay, to redefine data types we can use the keyword type def. So similarly we can use the same keyword type def, okay, to construct or define a type defined structures. So sorry, we can define structure data type using the keyword type def also. Hence the structure which is defined using the keyword type def is called a type defined structure. Actually the syntax and the example for type defined structure is as follows. You see, this is the syntax. So the definition of structure, okay, it begins with the keyword type def followed by another keyword struct. So here type def is also the keyword, struct is also the keyword. Then within a pair of parentheses we have to declare the members as usual. Data type 1 member 1 semicolon, data type 2 member 2 semicolon, like that you can have any number of members. Okay, and finally after closing brace, structure ID, actually the name of structure ID or structure tag or structure name, whatever you call. Okay, so this is what the syntax. Begin with the type def, struct, within a pair of braces, declaration of structure members. Then here instead of directly semicolon, here we write structure ID or structure tag, okay, terminated by semicolon. Earlier in normal structures, here itself we used to write struct name, but instead of that now we write structure name at the end here, and that is called structure ID or structure tag, whatever you call. And you can see the example here. Type def, keyword type def as it is, struct as it is, within a pair of curly braces the members. Here the type defined structure has got three members, name, USN, percentage marks. See, name is an array of 10 characters. Name is an array of 10 characters, first member. Second member USN is of data type integer. Third member is percentage marks of data type float. And name of the structure here it is student. Student is the name of the structure or structure tag we can write. So terminated by semicolon. So because this structure definition begins with the type def keyword, we call it as type defined structure. Okay. So here we say the student is the new data type. Student is the new data type using which we can declare structure variables as follows. Okay. So here type declaring structure variables for type defined structure, you observe here we don't begin with keyword struct. So directly we write student means structure name followed by variables, structure variables S1, S2, S3 terminated by semicolon. Here S1, S2, S3 are structure variables of structure type student. So just to recall, actually we used to write for normal structures, we write we declare the structure variables somehow like this. Say struct struct student, then we used to write S1, S2, S3 semicolon. So this is how we used to declare structure, normal structure variables. But for type defined structure variables we don't use this keyword struct. So that is what the difference you have to note, because we begin with the type def only. So also this is not required. So this is what directly it begins with name of the structure student, S1, S2, S3. So here S1, S2, S3 are the structure variables. So note here the type defined structure can also be defined as follows. Instead of this we can also define like this. You see, just like our normal structure, we used to declare normal structure like this only. Struct employee. So first member is name, name is an array of 10 characters. Second member employed is of data type integer. Salary is third member of data type float. This is what we used to declare. Okay. So but type defined structure can also be defined like this. You see, just like normal structure, semicolon, okay, struct employee, then first within pair of braces first member, second member, third member, terminated by semicolon, followed by we write a type defined keyword here, type def. Then struct employee, employee. Here what is the name of the structure? Employee. So that's why type def struct employee means employee structure is being renamed as capital employee. So actually lowercase letters are used for employee, that is name of the structure. So we define type def keyword, we use type def keyword here. Type def struct employee, capital employee means structure lowercase employee is redefined. Okay, type def means redefined as capital employee semicolon. So this is how also we can what is called define type defined structures. So this is also correct and this is also correct. Here just begin with type def struct. Here we are not beginning with type def struct, normal conventional method of defining the structure. But after semicolon, we use the keyword type def, then struct employee. Employee should be renamed as capital employee. Now to declare variables, you can observe here for declaring variables we have used this line, student S1, S2, S3. Here now employee is renamed as employee. So employee E1, E2, E3. Though the name of the structure is employee lowercase, but we have redefined it as uppercase employee. Once it is redefined as uppercase employee, then we use structure variables E1, E2, E3 as of that uppercase employee. So this is how also you can use type defined structure, or you can define type defined structure in two ways. Okay. So let us consider one example of type defined structure. So program to illustrate the addition of two complex numbers using type defined structure. Okay. So preprocessor directive hash include stdio.h. First we have to define the structure. As I said before, main we have to define the structure, but we are defining not normal structure, type defined structure. So that's why begin with keyword type def struct. Type def struct. Here both type def and struct are keywords. Within a pair of curly braces we have two members, two data members, members of structures. Int rp semicolon int ip means real part and imaginary part, because we just observe here we are adding two complex numbers which are in the form of a plus ib or x plus iy. They are called complex numbers, so which will have real part and imaginary part. So that's why first we are defining a structure called complex, using type defined structure. Type def struct int real part semicolon int imaginary part semicolon close, and name of the structure or structure tag is complex semicolon. So now we have defined, using this we have defined a complex structure. So a structure called complex with two members rp and ip are of data type integer both. So then our main program begins here. So declaration here complex c1 c2 sc. So means here c1 c2 sc are, these are the structure variables, three structure variables of structure type complex. So here we have defined. So now memory has to be reserved for three complex or three structure variables c1 c2 st of structure type complex. So here already complex structure type is defined like this. Complex structure type is defined with two members, real part, imaginary part, and here we are declaring c1 c2 sc. So memory is reserved for c1, then c2, then sc. Okay, c1 is a complex structure. So complex structure has two members rp ip. So this way c1 has got rp and ip. Like that c2 is a structure variable of type complex. Complex has got two members. So c2 has got two members rp and ip. Okay, c2 also has got rp and ip. sc is also a complex number, complex structures. Complex structure has got two members rp ip. So sc also has got two members rp ip. So c1 c2 sc are three structure variables. So each structure variable has two members rp and ip. So this is what memory is reserved now. Data is not yet stored in these members of c1 c2 c3. So now through scanf statement we have to store the data into the respective members of C1, C2 inputs, and SC is the output here, structure variable. So now see clear screen. Enter real and imaginary part of first complex number. So it will display enter real and imaginary part of first complex number. Then scanf statement is executed. When this scanf statement is executed, simply the cursor appears here. So you have to enter two numbers here, percentage d. So two numbers, first one goes to C1 RP and second one goes to C1 IP. Enter real and imaginary part of first complex number. Say for example 4 and 5. So 4 goes to C1.RP, 5 goes to C1.IP. C1.RP is what now? Because of scanf statement, 4 goes to C1.RP and 5 goes to C1.IP. Okay. So next, this printf statement is executed in the new line. Enter real and imaginary part of second complex number. See, enter real and imaginary part of second complex number. Now I will take 2 space 3. So first input 2, second input 3. So 2 goes to C2.RP and 3 goes to C2.IP. Okay, C2.RP is 3, C2.IP is C2.RP is 2. First input is 2 and C2.IP is 3. Okay. Now control comes here. SC.RP assigned a value C1.RP plus C2.RP. See here SC.RP assigned a value C1.RP. What is C1.RP? 4 plus C2.RP. What is C2.RP? 2. So 4 plus 2, 6 will be SC.RP. Then SC.IP assigned a value C1.IP plus C2.IP. What is C1.IP? C1.IP is 5. C2.IP is 3. So 5 plus 3, 8. 8 will be SC.IP. So SC.IP will be 8. So this is how data appears into the memory locations. Once the data is available in the memory location, it is not visible on the screen. So that's why it should be brought onto the screen using respective printf statements. So that's why we use on printf statement here. In the new line, see enter, instead of enter, this will be the real and imaginary part of resultant complex number. Okay, so it will display the real and imaginary part of resultant complex number is as it is. Okay, then print control is here only. Print control is here only after one blank space. See here, one blank space is there. Then once again printf statement, printf percentage d in place of percentage d sc.rp. What is sc.rp? 6. So 6. Then here I have one blank space. You see here, even I can have several blank spaces. So I can have several blank spaces. Then second percentage d, in place of second percentage d, sc.ip. sc.ip. What is value of sc.ip? sc.ip is 8. So this will be 8. Okay. So get ch, end of the program. So this is how. So you can add 4 plus 5i, 2 plus 3i. Answer will be 6 plus 8i. That will be the answer. So this is how you can use type defined structure to define a complex number. And once you define the complex number, then you can declare 3 variables of complex number containing real part and imaginary part. You can read the real part, imaginary part of first complex number. You can read the real part and imaginary part of second complex number. Then you can add the real part and real part of 2 complex numbers. That will be the real part of result complex number SC. You can add the real imaginary part of 2 complex numbers. That will be stored in imaginary part of resultant complex number. And once you get, you can print the real part and imaginary part of resultant number SC. So that is how, this is how you can use type defined structures. So thank you for watching this video.